Cross Watchers. This is your October 2020 reading. I will be doing a quick rundown of some transits and aspects that are happening in October, and then I will get to your reading. If you're new here, I'm Sarah. This is Cancer Capricorn Guidance. I'm a Cancer Sun, Capricorn Moon, I'm a Libra rising. I want to bring more astrology into this channel because it's something that I've been doing a lot of research on, I've been doing a lot of studying, and I want to bring some of the aspects and transits that happen in the monthly readings into the monthly readings. So I will be going over that first before I get to your reading. But just really quickly, in the description box you can follow me on Instagram. You can also find my email if you want to reach out to me to schedule a personal reading. Please feel free to do so. Also in my description box you can find a couple different links to a couple different Spotify playlists I've made. So you can find a lot of different kinds of stuff in those playlists. If you're interested in finding any kind of new music, feel free to check those out. I've never really mentioned this before, but also in my description box I have linked a couple different people on YouTube that I really like. They are tarot readers, they are astrologers, they are intuitives, and they really are great at getting in touch with those things, and I have learned so much about spirituality, tarot, astrology, all kinds of stuff like that, and I take a lot of inspiration from them. So if you're curious about where I get my inspiration and what I watch in my free time to learn about the transits, learn about astrology, learn about tarot, all of them, I think I have 5 of them. 5 of them are linked in my description box, so feel free to check those out. Also, I just wanted to mention really quickly that I want to expand my collection of tarot and oracle cards. I only have 2 decks, and I really want to invest in a new one. I think I'm going to hold off on buying a tarot deck for a little while because I'm pretty used to my tried and true classic Rider-Waite deck, but I am interested in buying some new oracle decks. So if you have any suggestions or any recommendations, please drop links below in the comments. I'd love to hear about them. But anyway, Capricorn, let's get into some of these transits. So there's a lot happening in October that everyone is going to feel. There's a lot of things that are going to affect everyone and the collective as a whole, but there's some ones that I want to focus on for you. So on the 1st of October, there's going to be a full moon in Aries. This is going to have a lot to do with feelings of urgency. People with their moon in Aries, they often have this need to express really urgently and impulsively, but I just want to remind you to be careful of that and to really sit on your feelings and think about them before expressing them too quickly or lashing out or saying something you don't really mean. Just be aware of that. Also, just like any full moon, this is a really good time to get real with yourself about how you really feel. The full moon can bring about a lot of realizations, a lot of clarity, and I think if you've been kind of confused about how you're feeling and how you want to move forward, this is a really great time to journal it out and find other kind of means of expression, as opposed to, you know, acting on things really suddenly. So this is a really good time to express creatively, write things out, express your emotions and channel them into something really positive. So on the 2nd of October, Venus is entering Virgo. So this is another earth sign just like Capricorn. So I think people are going to get, you specifically, you're going to get more practical about your spending, your relationships, and your spaces. Venus is about love, beauty, money, romance, all kinds of things like that. And I think that you're going to get really real about planning and organizing things for the long run. If there is a relationship or connection that you've been exploring, now might be a good time to like have, not the talk, but get real about what you want in the long term and have that conversation with your person about, are we in alignment with where we're headed in our trajectories of what we want as individuals and what we want as collective, as a companionship. Or even just like a project. You should be planning out and kind of mapping out how you want the trajectory of this project to go, because Virgo is that really organized, discerning, very detail-oriented sign. So this is a really great time to get real about the practicality of putting a relationship or a project into motion, into gear. This is also a really great time to exercise that one of the 5 love languages, the acts of service kind. Venus and Virgo natives, they can really be acts of service type of people, and that's how they show their love. So this may be a time to think about how you can be of service to others, how you can help others, or how you can just show a loved one that you really care by doing something really practical and nice for them. So on the 4th, this is a really big one. This is the first of the outer planets that are going to be going direct in October and November. So on the 4th, Pluto goes direct in Capricorn. It has been retrograding for a long time now. This is going to bring about a lot of change. This is going to bring about a lot of clarity. It's going to feel like a lifted energy. Pluto is the outermost planet in our solar system, and it represents transformation, death, rebirth. And I think that there's going to be a lot of clarity surrounding whatever's been holding you back and preventing you from achieving transformations and really having big changes in your life. This also may be a really good time to release any residue of anything from your past that has really been holding you back. Release anything that feels like baggage that is preventing you from having those really big transformations of self. Also, any secrets about society, anything that's been hidden, socially and like grand scale, I think things are going to come up out of the woodwork. Things are going to come to the surface and a lot is going to be revealed, especially with it, Pluto being in Capricorn. It has a lot to do with structures and routines of society and like the traditions. So a lot of traditional things I think might be uprooted, and a lot of secrets surrounding that kind of stuff may be revealed. So pay attention to that. That's for the collective, really. And really just pay attention to what is going to serve you in your transformation and the transformation of yourself in the long haul. What is holding you back and what is really going to serve you. And then we have Mars and Aries squaring Pluto and Capricorn. So this may cause tension and conflict surrounding motivation. So you may be trying to change, you may be trying to have that transformation of self, but there may be some conflict because Mars is still in retrograde in Aries, there may be some conflict and setbacks in moving forward and trying to reach those kinds of transformations. So then on the 11th and the 15th, we have the Sun in Libra squaring Jupiter and Capricorn on the 11th, and Sun in Libra squaring Pluto and Capricorn on the 15th. I think both of these aspects are going to cause ego conflicts. I think it's going to have a lot to do with growing, expanding, and changing and transforming. And the Sun in Libra is really going to want to stay comfy and airy and light in that place of ego. The Sun is ego, so it's really going to want to stay in that place of ego where it's like, I'm comfortable here and I'm fine here. But Jupiter in Capricorn and Pluto in Capricorn are really going to challenge you to say, okay, but what is really going to help you grow in the long term, even if it's going to cause some growing pains, even if it means letting go of some things that you really are holding on to. I think October in general, it's going to be a lot about release and letting things go, and really destroying and getting rid of clutter and old things and old ways so that we can move into 2021 with a lot of new, fresh energy. On the 13th, though, Mercury does go retrograde in Scorpio. So if you remember, last year around this time, we had Mercury go retrograde in Scorpio, and this is going to be a big one. It's going to be retrograding from October 13th until November 3rd, and I think this is really going to bring up a lot of really deep past hurts and emotions. Be very careful. There may be people from your past coming back to tell you how they hurt you and why it's still lingering with them. But remember that you have control over protecting your energy and what kind of energy you do want to let into your space. And I think it's going to bring about ways that you can think about how to set up new boundaries, and especially when it comes to emotional boundaries. Be open to leaning into those deep, heavy emotions and that intensity, because it could teach you something. It could clear a lot of things out, and it could really help you move forward and learn from the situation, whatever this person is coming back to try and tell you. Then we have the new moon in Libra on October 16th. This is really going to bring about realizations of what makes us feel really balanced and in harmony internally and emotionally. What can we bring about to make the good and bad feelings kind of balance each other out and really work together and not against each other. Again, we have Mars and Aries squaring Jupiter and Capricorn, another square. This is going to cause a lot of frustration with growth and movement forward. Jupiter and Capricorn really wants to grow and expand consistently and steadily. And Mars and Aries, which I think will still be in retrograde by then, it's going to be really challenging. It's going to be really pushy and aggressive and want to move forward really quickly and impulsively and brash. But Jupiter and Capricorn is going to want to slow it down. So there's going to be some opposition and frustration there. And then on the 22nd of October, we have the Sun entering Scorpio. So Scorpio season is going to bring about a lot of the things that I mentioned with Pluto, because Pluto is ruled by Scorpio. So there is going to be some emotional intensity and a lot of feelings and like deepness, but I think there's going to be a lot of clarity in terms of perceiving your own emotions and the emotions of others, because Scorpio is a very intuitive and perceptive sign. So I think that you're going to have a heightened sense of perception and your ability to know how you are feeling and know how others are feeling. But also be aware of, in Scorpio season, what are you holding on to too tightly? It could be secrets, it could be material possessions, but what do you really need to let go of? This also goes in line with the Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. So really think about what isn't serving you anymore and what you've been harboring in for a long time and what you could really afford to let go of. Then on the 27th, we have Venus entering Libra. This is really great because Venus is at home in Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus, so, beauty, luxury, romance, creativity, money, so all these kinds of things. This might be a really good time to splurge on yourself, to take some time to take care of yourself, to give yourself a little spa day, to really like spend a little extra money on something for yourself. This is also a really good time to clean up your spaces and bring in more feng shui, maybe rearrange your furniture, have more harmony and balance in your spaces. This could also be a really great time to get in touch with your romantic side and bring about more balance and harmony in your close relationships. Even just being really real with someone you love and bringing in some romance into the connection could really spice things up and bring in some much needed rest, relaxation, some relief, just to get away for a little bit and have some nice romantic time with your partner. Then on the 31st, we have a full moon in Taurus. This will be the second full moon of the month. This is really going to make us think about what makes us feel safe and secure, what really brings us a lot of security and stability. If there's anything that's not bringing in that security for you, it's time to make changes. And it's also time to let go of things that make you feel stable, but they're more material things that you are holding on to and don't really need. This is making you question what material things make you feel secure and whether or not you really need those things. So Capricorn, those were all of your aspects for the month. I hope that some of that is going to help you. I hope that maybe some of that comes up in the reading, but I hope that was interesting to you at all and made sense to you. I'm understanding astrology aspects more and more as I go. I hope that that stuff makes sense to you too. But yeah, so Capricorn, there is a lot of outer planets in Capricorn, and a lot of them are going direct in October and November. Jupiter just went direct in Capricorn in September, so that lifted a lot of energy in terms of whatever's been holding you back and like preventing you from growing and expanding and moving forward. So, Capricorn, how's everyone feeling? I think Capricorns are going to have a turnaround. For the rest of the year and into 2021, I think you're really going to have a turnaround because Capricorns have been feeling so much. Capricorns have gone through so much in the last year or two, especially with all those outer planets retrograding. Saturn's going direct, Pluto's going direct, Jupiter went direct. I think you're going to feel a lot lighter on your feet and not so heavy. A lot of movement forward. Capricorn. I'm struggling with the shuffling today. Maybe you're struggling to get back into the groove of things. Any messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, Mars for the month of October 2020? Messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Messages for Capricorn. We have the Ace of Cups, reverse. Messages for Capricorn. Any messages for Capricorn? Yeah, I'm getting I should pull. Alright. Whew. Okay. Alright, Capricorn, there's a lot going on here. Wow. So for the overall energy, we have the Knight of Swords. And then we have the Ace of Cups reversed, the Six of Pentacles reversed, the King of Cups reversed, Temperance reversed, Six of Cups reversed, and then the Emperor. Wow, a lot of reversed. Capricorn. I feel that with this overall energy, it's like, I want to move forward. I want to move forward. I want to go. I want to get moving. I want to get going again. I want to get plans in order. I want to get to action. I want to make decisions. I just want to be in control, but feeling like I'm moving really fast. Feeling like things are really picking up. Like you really want to get into that energy of everything's picking up again with all these planets going direct. But it looks like with all these reversals, there's a lot holding you back. Or maybe with these reversals, it's fueling you even more to be like, I need to go, I need to go, I need to go, I need to move forward, I need to get moving again. It's like I feel the frustration from this. Like, it's coming at me. It's like, despite all of these setbacks, you're like, I'm still going to try to move forward. I'm still moving forward. Nothing is going to stop me right now. This Knight of Swords is so determined, so focused. And it's like, it doesn't matter what kind of emotional or practical obstacles may be in my way. Mentally, I want to go. I want to move forward. Yeah, because with this Ace of Cups, it's like, it could either be that you're feeling, I don't know why, I just got misunderstood. No one understands me. Capricorn, I know that you sit in that energy a lot. This no one understands me energy. The Ace of Cups could also, or the Ace of Cups reverse, sorry. This could also represent unrequited love in some way. Like, you opened your heart, you poured your heart out to someone, and you didn't get the same reciprocation that you really wanted. Maybe you're not feeling that your cup is really full right now. You're not feeling that emotional newness, that fresh energy that you really wanted to feel. You're not feeling in the best headspace. It could just really be that you're just like not happy right now. You're kind of sad. You're not feeling optimistic or hopeful. You're not feeling emotionally here. But I really got like frustration, emotionally frustrated, and like no one understands me. No one gets me. And you may be feeling kind of lonely and disconnected because of that. You may be feeling even disconnected from yourself. Maybe you're feeling disconnected from your emotional self. Yeah, and I think it has something to do with where I've seen this in a lot of readings for Capricorn kind of recently. It's like I'm feeling misunderstood and like I'm not getting what I want because no one's giving to me. I feel like I give and give and give and I'm not getting anything in return. People are relying on me and it's like, when am I going to get my cup filled? I am so worried about helping everybody else fill theirs. When am I going to get mine? And this is that King of Cups energy. It can almost bleed into emotional manipulation and kind of emotional immaturity. But it can also just be like, where's mine? I have put in all this energy into other people and serving others and helping others, and I'm like, where's mine? This could also be that you're just feeling unfulfilled because you're feeling like you're giving and not receiving, or you're trying to give to people who don't want to receive what you have to offer, and this is putting you in this King of Cups reverse energy where you're like becoming like dismissive and mean and kind of vindictive. I'm not trying to demonize you or make you feel bad. It's kind of justified, but it's like you're like, I'm feeling unfulfilled. No one's reciprocating the kind of energy that I'm putting out. I'm giving what I have to people. People are taking from me and not giving anything back. A lot of lack of reciprocation. And it's leaving me really bitter. I'm feeling really bitter and salty and ungrateful because it's like, why am I not getting anything in return? Where's mine? Where's my happiness? Where's my emotional fulfillment? Why is no one coming to fill my cup? Why is no one coming around to give me things and help me out and give some charity to me? I think it's a lot of like negative feelings that you're sitting in. A lot of negative emotions because you're just really frustrated. Yeah. I'm getting a lot like I feel misunderstood because I give and give and give and don't get anything in return. Or you're just feeling really misunderstood because you're and like unfulfilled because you're really tired of people relying on you and no one comes through for you. It's like you're that person that's there when people need you and you're there to give and help a person out, loan them some money, give a helping hand when they need it, but people aren't there for you when you need it, and it's really frustrating, and you're like, well, fine, I guess I won't be like that anymore. I'm going to close myself off emotionally and not give that part of myself to people because they don't deserve it, and I'm just going to keep feeling depleted and empty because I'm giving everything I have away and not getting anything in return, and it's really frustrating. I'm getting a lot of frustration from this, and it's like I'm still trying to move forward and push forward intellectually and, using my head, being in my headspace, because obviously the whole being in my emotional space isn't working. I've tried to be really giving to people, and people aren't just aren't giving me what I need. Yeah, it could just be that you're giving to the wrong people, or you're giving with the expectation of getting something in return, and when you don't get that, you're really upset and frustrated and maybe a little bit crabby and not manipulative, just like really salty and bitter. Like, I give and give and give. Why is my cup empty? It could just be that you need to be more selective about who you're giving to. It could be that you need to stop giving to people that you know aren't reliable and aren't going to get you back. People that aren't going to help you out when you need it. And it's leaving you feeling really impatient. I think it's leaving you feeling really misaligned with yourself. I feel like all of this is causing a lot of internal conflict where it's like, I'm not at peace, I'm not in alignment, and I'm feeling really impatient. Like, when is it going to happen for me? When am I going to get mine? If this has to do with relationships, it could very much be about you're searching. You're pouring your love into people. You're giving all you have to people who don't deserve it. And it's leaving you, or you're giving it to people who aren't ready to receive it, to people who aren't emotionally mature, people who aren't emotionally stable. You keep giving and giving and giving to people who don't deserve it and don't have the time for it. And can't give you what you need, don't have the capacity to give you what you need, and it's leaving you feeling really empty and unfulfilled because you're chasing and going out to all these different people and trying to make it work and force these connections with a lot of people, and it's leaving you feeling really imbalanced and misaligned, and you're really impatient. You're like, I keep trying, I keep giving, and I'm just so defeated, and I'm just not at peace. I'm not at peace, and I'm really frustrated that this isn't happening for me. And I'm really impatient that, it hasn't worked out for me yet. Like, I'm such a giving person. Why has no one given to me back? And I understand your frustration, Capricorn. I know how that can feel. I'm going to get some clarification on the Ace of Cups reversed, just to see if there's anything more specific that this is about. Can I get a clarification on the Ace of Cups reversed? Clarification on the Ace of Cups reversed. The Four of Swords. Baby, I think you're just pouring your love into people who don't deserve it, and it's like, why don't you just give yourself a break from that? I think it's really time to take a step back and get some rest from that, because especially if your cup is feeling really empty and depleted, how can you continue to give to people when you don't have much to give right now? It's like, I think you really need to take a step back and fill your cup up a little bit again. Really fill yourself with some self-love. Take some time out to do some reflection, some meditation. Really sit in your feelings and just take some time to relax. Give it a break to maybe dating and like giving away all your emotional energy and emotional labor to these people who aren't in the right space to receive it. People who are only going to take from you and not give. I'm getting a lot of like, this is you giving and feeling bitter about it, but it could also be like you giving to people who you know they don't have the capacity to give back. They're moochers and they take and take and take, and they're people who are very emotionally immature and unstable. And it's like, I feel like you can see that and you know that when you're getting into it, but you ignore it anyway because you're like, I have so much love to pour out and I'm so impatient. I'm waiting to find someone to receive it and give it back to me. And I'm getting so impatient with this search for like the kind of love and connection that I want. But it's like, you're exhausted, and I think it's really gonna be time to take a break really soon. Because if you don't, you're gonna burn out. You really need that time and space to be alone and maybe get to know yourself a little better. Maybe you need to take some time to really get back in touch with yourself. You're out of alignment. You're out of balance. You're not at peace with yourself. You don't have that inner harmony that you need. I think it's really time to take a step back and get back in alignment with yourself. Especially with the Six of Cups reversed, I think that this like incessant search for someone to pour your love into, this could have to do with, I don't mean to get deep, but this could really have to do with some childhood stuff, some childhood trauma, some stuff from the past, like old patterns of behavior that you have learned and maybe aren't the healthiest, where this is how you learn to give. You give and don't get anything in return, and you learn to be okay with that, or you learn that that's how love is. You learn that that's what is normal, but this could also have to do with you getting so frustrated and impatient with finding a person, finding love, finding connection, finding someone who's going to reciprocate, that you may be questioning or thinking about going back to the past in some way. But with it in reverse, it's a bad idea. It's always a bad idea to go back to the past, to some other distant memory of comfort, stability, emotional security, something that you think, you may have a clouded vision about your past where you look back at it and you're like, maybe it wasn't so bad as I thought. Maybe that person offered me a lot more emotional security than I think. Maybe I was happier than I remember. And it's like, no, you're just in a place of loneliness right now and frustration and wanting to find the right person, that you are thinking about going back to a past person. And that's just, I just don't think that's a good idea. I don't. Because if that person is in your past and you've moved on from them, that means they're not meant to be in your present, and there's not really a reason for you to go back to that. I think you're just really in a place of frustration and impatience and loneliness where you're willing to do risky things and open up old wounds that shouldn't be opened. Be careful with that Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. That could bring up a lot of past hurts and wounds, and there's some things that maybe should stay closed and stay in the past, you know? Yeah, this could be also just be bringing up a lot of feelings from the past, a lot of insecurities from the past, a lot of old patterns of behavior and emotions that don't make you feel good, make you feel really insecure, and that inner child within you is like hurting right now. And I think it's really important for you to take some time out and not be seeking so much, and really just take a break and get back in alignment with yourself. We next have the Emperor, but I'm going to get clarification on that. Clarification for the Emperor for Capricorn. Clarification on the Emperor for Capricorn. King of Pentacles. Yeah, baby, I think that you are in your boss bitch energy right now. I think that you're back. I think that either you're realizing that it might be time soon to step back into your Emperor energy and step back into your power and your control over things, and to also step back into your energy where you're really focused on your work, you're focused on your career, you're focused on creating abundance for yourself, creating stability and a home within yourself. I think this has a lot to do with like Capricorn reminding yourself how powerful you are and how much of a home and stability you can build in yourself, how much power you have to build that within yourself so that you don't need to seek it outside from other people. You know what I mean? I think the Emperor is very much like in control of his own fate, in control of his own destiny, very stoic and in control of his emotions. This could really have to do with some father figure stuff, where it could be bringing up some stuff from the past about insecurities surrounding father and validation. I don't want to get too deep there, but you know what I mean. But yeah, this is really just reminding you that you can step back into your power, and it's time to really be the leader that you are, be the powerful person that you are, be the bad boss bitch that you are. Like, really take care of yourself, build up your own abundance, build up your own security, so that you really have a strong foundation of self, so that you don't need to seek it outside from other people. Yeah, just remind yourself how powerful you are and how stable you are, despite all of the frustrations and depleted energy that you've been feeling. But I think Capricorn, when you do reach that level of emotional vulnerability, it's not comfortable for you. You don't like being there. You like having that self-sufficiency and not needing those people. And I think you've gone too far into that like fake need where you feel like you have to need other people and you need that emotional validation, but it's really like you're just out of balance and you're not having that inner balance and inner peace that you really need right now. And I think this is how you will get back in touch with it. You reminding yourself that you are powerful, and you getting back in touch with creating your own stability for yourself so that you don't need to seek it outside from other people. All right, I'm going to pull 3 cards of advice for you, Capricorn. 3 cards of advice for Capricorn for October 2020 regarding this spread. 3 cards of advice for Capricorn. Oh, I love that. All right. King of Swords, 2 of Cups, and the Chariot. So with the King of Swords, I think it really is you stepping back into this energy of power, decisiveness, clear-headed thinking. This is really going to move you out of this energy. It's like you're really pushing forward to move out of this negative, low vibe energy because you don't want to be here anymore. And the King of Swords is really going to help you have that discernment, that deliberation, that decision-making power that makes you feel really in control of what's going on and makes you feel less lost and dependent on other people. It's very much like you are a strong leader with a lot of clarity, and you're able to make really clear decisions. It could also be like you're receiving some mental clarity that you didn't have before. But I think this really speaks to me. I get Aquarius energy from this. It really speaks to me of like stepping back from the emotional standpoint and coming into a more objective standpoint and being able to make smart decisions for yourself that are regardless of how you feel, which is like not always a bad thing. That's something that Capricorn is really good at doing, that you look at things really objectively and pragmatically, and you can make decisions that are, you know, removed from your emotional self. And I think that's kind of where you want to be with the Emperor and the King of Pentacles. You're trying to remove yourself from that emotional self so that you can move out of that low, slumpy, you know, emotional state that you're in. But with the Two of Cups, I think this is you stepping back. That will help you step back into an alignment with yourself. The Two of Cups can speak about, you know, a new connection coming in, but it can also speak about being in alignment emotionally and internally with yourself. This can speak a lot about self-love and balance. Pay attention to that Libra new moon. I think that's going to help you get back in touch with your emotional self and get things in balance again and help you balance out the good and bad feelings. That Two of Cups is really like remembering self-love and self-care, and putting all the energy you put into yourself is giving it to yourself, and it's like a cyclical economy of emotions within yourself. It's like whatever I give to myself, I'm receiving. Whatever I receive is what I gave to myself. It's like there's no loss. It's not like you put energy out and it doesn't come back to you because the person didn't reciprocate. If you put it into yourself, it comes right back to you because you're serving yourself, you know? Yeah, I think this Two of Cups is really about self-love. And the way that you're going to do it and get back in touch with that is by stepping back into your power, stepping back into reminding yourself that you are stable and can create your own stability and abundance for yourself. Moving really quickly and making good decisions and, you know, being objective. I think Capricorns are really good at being in that objective energy, and that's how you're going to move out of this and get back into your period of self-love, because that's where you find your power. That's where you find your independence. And with this Chariot, it's like you're moving forward, you're coming out of this, you're motivated, you're determined, you see the end goal, you see what you're moving towards, you have this drive to get out of this, and you're really excited and looking forward to it. Yeah, and to step into your Cancer energy a little bit, Cancer is the opposite sign of Capricorn, but with the Chariot being the Cancer card, I think it's reminding you to have emotional attachment to your goals and where you want to go, but to also bring in that detachment and objectivity. It doesn't always need to be so heavy emotionally, but you can still have that and be in touch with that emotional part of yourself. But this is really like you're moving forward and you're ready to go. I'm going to pull one more card. I'm just feeling it. Any other messages for Capricorn for October 2020? Oh, I got the Hierophant. Yeah, Capricorn, I think this is really like you establishing your sense of self, your values, your beliefs, and who you really are through this process. It's like you went through this tough period, but you're coming out of it stronger, smarter, wiser. Stronger, smarter, wiser, more of a leader, more in your boss energy, you know, more abundant for yourself, more objective, with more self-love, more determination. It's like this is establishing a new version of yourself, a new sense of self that you're really proud and confident in. It's like I can always rely on myself, and I forgot that. I might have forgotten that for a little while, but I remember now that I don't need anyone else to fulfill me or validate me. I have everything I need, and I got myself. I can rely on myself. I know what I know what I feel, I know who I am, I know how I move, and I can rely on that power and that energy of what I do best to get me out of this and to be the best version of myself. I'm a better version of myself now, and I'm establishing that. Alright, so with that all said, I'm just going to pull one last music oracle card, because I totally forgot that I brought these out for this, and I really want to start bringing other kinds of cards into the readings. So, Capricorn. Any other messages for Capricorn for October 2020? James Brown. Alright, let's show it first. James Brown. It says, knock 'em dead, then leave. Don't quit moving until it's payback time. When you're ready to get on up, it's time to get down. Yeah, I think this is just really telling you it's time to move forward. It's time to get moving again. It's time to remember who you are, to show them who you are. Step into your power. Remember that you have all the abundance you need within yourself already. Don't quit moving until it's payback time. Yeah, whatever energy you gave out into the universe, I think that it really will eventually come back to you. I think you're so frustrated and depleted because it hasn't yet, and you gave it to all the wrong people who weren't ready to receive it. But I think all the energy you did put out will come back to you, and that vulnerability that you demonstrated, that's really strong and powerful, and that's something that's really not easy for Capricorn to do. And I think that will come back to you in some way. And you're going to knock them dead just by showing them how powerful you are and how much self-love you have and stability you have within yourself. That is the biggest flex of all, I think. That's a beautiful card. So, Capricorn, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching this. I really hope that you resonated with this in some way. I hope that you really got something out of these messages. If you liked this reading, if you enjoyed the transit breakdown in the beginning of the video, please give this a thumbs up. Tell me how you felt about it in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. Again, in the description box, you can find my Instagram. Feel free to give me a follow. You can also find my email. Please feel free to reach out to me if you want to schedule a personal reading. You can also find a couple different links to a couple different Spotify playlists. Feel free to check those out. Capricorn, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you have a wonderful October, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you for watching.